Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
All right, today I want to talk about work ethic and how much should you be hitting. A lot of players say that to me. Matt, how much should I hit? Should I come in once a week? Should I come in once every 2 weeks? Should I come in once a month? How much? Think about this. I heard this quote. I totally agree. Players that hit often, hit often. Players that don't hit often, don't hit. All right, so players that hit often, hit often. And it's completely true. I don't know if I've ever met a great hitter that didn't hit a lot. Now, what is a lot? Depends. I'm not saying you got to take 5,000 swings a day, okay? But players that hit often, hit often. Write that down somewhere. Tattoo it somewhere. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Put it on your wall somewhere, okay? Because if you want to be great at anything, you have to do it. And you have to do it a lot. If you think that you're just going to come in and hit once a week or every 2 weeks or once a month, you're not going to be a very good hitter. All right? One of the most frustrating things for me as a coach is a player will come to me and we'll make really big changes to their swing, right? They come in, oh man, I'm terrible, I'm struggling, I haven't been able to hit, I've never been able to hit. Okay, we go through everything. And by the time the player leaves, they have a really good understanding of what they were doing, what they need to do. We've worked on the drills. They've shown a ton of progress. We put a lot of videos out on Instagram and YouTube where it's like 1 hour of work or 2 hours of work, and it's huge improvements. But what makes me mad is that player will then go. They have all the information. They'll go and they won't work on anything. And they'll either come back a month later and they haven't really done, a lot of times they've regressed because they haven't worked on it. They had all the info, they didn't work on it. So that upsets me. I don't like when players, or when parents especially, right, they'll say to me, well, how often do we need to come back, right? And I say, listen, my goal is to give you everything, the drills, the thoughts, the mechanics, all that stuff, give it to you, and then allow you to go out and do it on your own, right? Some parents and players, they only want to hit when they come in to see me. If that's all you're hitting, you're never going to be good. You can't be good just when you're hitting with a coach, right? Just like I say to the players, you can't be good if all you're going to hit is at practice. There's not enough practices, right? Depending on how old you are, if you're in Little League, if you play travel ball, there's not enough practices. I've seen some teams that don't practice, right? And so when are you going to get better? So the best players are always the players that hit on their own. Do they go work with a coach? Absolutely. They go get information, right? There's a swing flaw, they get fixed. But you're going to need a lot of reps to build that into your swing permanently. You can't just go to coach, take a few swings, oh, I got it all, coach, yep, I'm good to go now. No, you got to hit. You got to hit often. All the best players I ever played with and against, they hit a ton. I talk all the time. Adrian Gonzalez, best player that I played with when I was with the Padres, guy hit a ton. It's not a mistake that he's a great hitter. He hit often. He hit really often, okay? And so two things. One, you've got to hit often because whatever it is that you're trying to build into your swing, your body needs to take a lot of reps to be able to make that second nature, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is the more you hit, because some players don't have instruction, right? There's been some great players that weren't told what to do. But guess what? They hit so often that their body started to figure out what it needs to do to be able to get the barrel to the ball short and quick and be able to drive the ball, okay? They weren't always told that. Some players were never told. They just did it. How did they do it, right? Some people think oh, they woke up one day, right? They were 5 years old, and from the time they got out of bed, they just swung perfectly. It was just a gift. And they swung perfectly, and they never had to practice because they were so good, and they just were born with some gene that said, this is how you swing the bat. In my experience, that doesn't happen, right? Are some players born with a little bit, a little differently, a little more athleticism, a little better hand-eye, whatever you want to call it? Yeah, some players have certain advantages. But nobody woke up with the greatest swing and just didn't have to work, just magically was there, and they went to the big leagues or went to a high level and they were great. Doesn't happen. All the best players I played with hit the most often. They were the hardest workers. Now, is there somebody in there I'm sure there's somebody in there that didn't work super hard. But 99% of what I see hit often. And the more you hit, like I said, the more you can start to figure it out. Figure it out. Oh man, that didn't work. Oh, this didn't work. Oh, this did work, right? Your body starts to learn, starts to adapt, starts to figure it out. So that's really important, right? So hit often. If you go to a lesson or learn something, you've got to take that and go hit. You can't just hit at your team practice. You can't just hit when you go see your hitting coach. If you do, you will not be a great hitter. Could you be a good hitter? Yeah, you could be a good hitter. You're not going to be a great hitter. Take what you learn, go do it on your own. Don't count the reps. I get so frustrated when a player says, how many swings should I take a day? How many swings should I take a week? How many in a month? I don't know. If you're just going to just mark off 1 swing, 2 swing, 3 swing, 4 swing, 5 swing, 6 swing, 50 swings, good, I hit my quota for the day, you're not going to be good either, right? You should be just lost in the work. You're lost. You're not counting. You got the pitch counter and you're clicking them off. No, right? Some days it might be 50 swings. Some days it might be 150 swings. Some days it might be 12 swings, right? So there's not a perfect amount, right? It's often, but if you're just in there just saying, oh, I got to just tally, I just got to, check these off, you're not going to be very good, right? Because you're doing it more like a job, like it's a chore. Oh, I've got to make my bed today. I got to brush my teeth and all that stuff. No, just go. If you enjoy hitting and you want to work, you'll go and you'll hit and you'll feel it. And when you feel like you've got it down and you feel like you can replicate it and you feel like you've hit enough for the day, then you're good. Some days is more, some days are less. Okay? So hopefully that helps you out. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn more about building the elite swing, check out our new course. We have over 2 hours of content, almost 30 hitting drills. We break down the exact mechanics that you're going to want to implement into your swing. I've put the link in the description if you want to go check it out.